Dear viewers, thanks for watching Webpackage and thanks for subscribing Webpackage. If not, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. In this video, we are going to see the part 2 of Everyone Can Learn Scrum Framework. So what we are going to learn in this video, what is a user story, the flow of user story, how to create a user story, how to use 3 C's, how to use invest. So the complete package of an user story which we are going to discuss here. What is user story? User story is one of the core element of Agile methodology. User stories can be written at different level of details and make the beneficial type of user intention, the value they get. User stories are not tasks. In fact, a single user stories may be, we can have multiple tasks which can be successfully delivered. Anyone from the team can write the user stories, but product owners should be the responsibility to make sure a product backlog of Agile user stories exists. Who is most responsible for writing Agile user stories? As I already told, anyone can write. Typically, who is the responsibilities of the product owner? So why do we need to create a user story? User stories gives teams important context and associate tasks with the value. We can clearly define some essential benefits that user story serves. Here we are going to see the relationship of a story. The first and foremost is the initiative or themes. If you see, there is something called product backlog item, that is so-called PBA. We'll have the entire product requirement in the PBA. The next part is Epic. So Epic will have the high level of business requirement. And the next after Epic is feature. Feature is a small aspect of Epic. The next part is the user story. User story is a small aspect of a feature. And the last one is task. Task is a small aspect of the user story. In this slide, I'm going to explain how the story slicing for an online banking functionality. For example, here you can see user want to see an additional functionality. This is an overall epic. So this epic we have to convert into a multiple user story. For example, user want to choose a different language. That is one type of an user story. User want to have the bank statement functionality. User want a customer support enabled. These are all the user story. We can have multiple user story like this for an epic. And for an user story, we can have multiple tasks. For example, enabling the chat. That is one task. Save chat history. That is one task. Delete the chat history. That is one more task. Like this, we can have multiple tasks for an user story. Now we are going to see the 3 C's of user stories. The 3 C's nothing but card, conversation, and confirmation. When come to the card is just nothing but a placeholder for a conversation. That means user stories are written on cards The card will not contain all the data, but there will be data which user can understand what the story about is. So the format of the card will be like, as a user of the product, I can action so that I can benefit. So this will be the typical format for the card. Now we'll see what is conversation. The conversation is necessary to get further details about the card. The conversation promotes the incremental and the continuous collaboration among the agile team. So here the people can, like product owners, stakeholders and business SMEs, can discuss in detail about the stories. The last is confirmation. The final component of a user story is acceptance criteria. It is to confirm that the user story is implemented correctly and successfully delivered. The product owner must confirm that the story is complete before it can be considered done. And specific acceptance criteria that is different from the current definition of done can be established for individual stories. How to use invest in user story. In order to create a good user stories, we have to remember the invest. Invest is nothing but independent, negotiable, valuable, estimable, small and testable. Initially it seems a bit confusing for everyone, but whenever we started using creating the user stories, we definitely will keep in mind we are using the invest. So independent is nothing but story should be as independent as possible. When thinking of independence, it is often easier to think of order independent. Why is this important? It allows for true prioritization of each and every story. Negotiable. A story is not a contract. It is up for the team to decide how to implement them. There is no rigidly fixed workflow. The goal is to meet customer needs, not develop something to the letter of the user story. Valuable. The prioritized user story should add value to the end user. That's a key factor of every user story. Estimable. A story has to be able to estimate it or sized so it can be properly prioritized. A value with high value but extremely lengthy development time may not be the highest priority. So items, because of the length of item to develop it. Small. It should go through the whole cycle. For example, designing, coding, testing. Every one of each and every sprint, this has to be included. Testable. There should be clear acceptance criteria. One of the most key points for the user story. To check whether a user story is implemented and appropriately done. So testers can test quickly based on this acceptance criteria. The main common template for an user story is, as a description of user, I want this functionality so that I can benefit. This is the common template for creating a user story. For an example, as a user, I want to get notification whenever a reseller advertise our products below agreed upon prices so that I can quickly take action to protect our brand. This is a story example.